back to another video. Today we're looking at question 5, longest palindromic substrings, and the way we'll be solving this problem is we're actually using the given index as the anchor, and we'll look at the left and the right to see whether they actually form a palindrome or not. So let's get started. The first thing that we need is we actually need like a subfunction, and let's call this like check. And let's just take two indexes, right? Let's take left and right. Right, so while L is greater than or equal to 0, and right is less than the length of S, and S of L is equal to S of R. Left plus equals, no, yeah, left would be decrement, right would be increment. And then in the end, you would just return L plus 1, right minus 1. Okay, so I'll walk through this method in a bit, but let's try this, right? So we'll have a for loop. So for I in range, length of S, right? So basically what we're doing is we're iterating through each and every single index, and we're just initializing this result to be 0, 0, and this will keep a track of the indices. So the left index and the right index that we care about in terms of the palindrome that we've seen so far. So for I in range length of S, so what we'll do is that we'll see current would be equal to check of I and then I. So basically what you're doing is that, hey, check the, if we use the current character, and that's the left and the right, keep moving towards the left, keep moving towards the right, and return the values, right? But this holds only if the middle character is the same. So for example, if this is a palindrome that we're looking at, this will work, like, right? So this will work only if the length of the palindrome is odd. So basically we look at A, right? And then that's fine. And then we decrement the left anchor, and then we increment the right anchor, and then we see that it is the same, and it will continue. However, if it's something like this, B and B, right? So it's not going to check for the next character. It's actually going to decrement one, and it'll check for C and B, and it doesn't work. So therefore, you need to handle two cases. You need to handle for the odd case, and you need to handle for the even case. And how do you do that? You just do I plus 1. So basically you're saying, hey, like these are the two. In this case, we're assuming that the two characters right next to each other are same, and then we continue the checking, right? And what we do is once we get the result, we actually compare. So if odd of 0, no, odd of 1 minus odd of 0, if it is greater than res of 1 minus res of 0, then you just update the value of result to be equal to odd, right? So basically you're checking, hey, like the value that was sent back to us, is it greater than the result that we've already stored? So basically what we're doing here is we're storing the left and the right index, and we're subtracting them. So if the length is greater, right, we update it. We do the same for even as well. Let's clean this up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, and that should be fine. Yeah. All right. So the only remaining part is actually this. So why are we returning left plus 1 and right minus 1? Because anytime you're incrementing and decrementing here, you're checking if the condition holds, and then you're decrementing and incrementing, and then you're checking the while loop again. So if it doesn't hold, that's when the while loop breaks, and then you come here. However, at that point, these values are already updated. So to make up for that, to go back to the previous values where this condition still held true, you would have to increment one and decrement increment one for the left and decrement one by right. There are other ways where instead of returning the left and the right, you could just return like the distance on the left and the right together, which would be so much easier, but I just prefer returning it this way. I'm sure there are better ways of representing that. If you find any ways, do let me know in the comments below. And in the end, right, you have the solution. In the end, you just need to return s of result of 0 to result of 1 plus 1. So basically, you're taking the substring, but when you take the last value, the end value, it's not inclusive, it's exclusive. So that's the reason why you need to add 1. I think that's it for the problem. Let's try compiling it. The first few test cases are okay. Everything else is okay as well. Awesome. So let's talk about the space and the time complexity. The time complexity is of n, since once you choose an index, you have to repeat the entire cycle by going through all of the characters all the way to the end. So that's a reason why it is n square. And the space complexity is of 1, since you're not using any additional space, just like the result, which is constant space, to store the indices. Awesome. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I would definitely appreciate that. Definitely keeps me motivated to make more videos. Thanks so much, and I'll see you folks in the next video. Peace.